Hello, friends. Today we are going to see the topic, or let's say a poetry that is called as To My Daughter. To My Daughter is one of the best poetries written by a Malayalam writer that is Balamani Amma. Let's look into the poetry, but before looking at the poetry, we will have a brief overview about Balamani Amma. Balamani Amma, also known as Nalapati Balamani Amma, was born on 19th of July 1909. She was an Indian poet, basically from Malayalam, and she wrote most of her poetries in Malayalam only. We also know her because of the popularity of her daughter, that is Kamla Surya, whom we know as Kamla Das. Balamani Amma did not had a formal education, and whatever she wrote was because of her uncle who gave her the education of reading and writing the literature and poetry. Balamani Amma is popularly known for her poetry like Amma, Muttasi, Mazuti Katha, etc. She is also popularly known as Mother of Malayalam poetry. Her very first poetry, that is Kappukai, was published in 1930, which gave her a most popularity as writer and a poetess of Malayalam field. Balamani Amma published more than 20 anthologies of her poem, several prose works, and many translations to her credit. She is also being credited with the honors like Padma Bhushan, Sahitya Akademi Award, and many more to go. Let's have a look at the very poetry written by Balamani Amma, that is, To My Daughter. The poetry is written basically for her daughter, that is, Kamla Das, who was seriously ill then and admitted to the hospital. Through the poetry, Balamani Amma shows the care, concern, and motherly love for her daughter, that is Kamla Das or Kamla Surya. Let's look at the very first paragraph, first stanza. The poem says, Daughter, lying on a snow white bed, far away in a hospital, are you weaving midnight into day with dark threads of pain? Here, Balamani Amma addresses to her daughter, Kamla Das, that she is ill, but at the same time, she has a very power because it is a snow white bed, which is she representing of the highest purity. The excellence of the writing and the love for her daughter compares this hospital bed to the snow white bed, which is of highest purity, which shows the motherly love characteristic feature of nature, that is to recover and become strong as soon as possible. In the next stanza, we find she mentions, Don't be depressed when we, too full of life, rush about too much and need rest. The goddess of creation offers us a sick bed. Lie back, be refreshed, reinvigorate yourself. There are so many steps still to be climbed. Here, Palamani Amma urges to her daughter that she should not feel depressed and she should be full of life even though she is very ill. She further says and shows her concern that the goddess has provided us this illness and she is being given a chance to rest from her very daily routine, which has caused her exhausted. She tells to her daughter, that is Kamla Das, to allow herself to restore so that she can urge to the society with a new zeal and new health with vitality. She also tells her daughter that she will recover very soon and instead of getting depressed, she will be able to climb the new steps and new routes, many more to go. She further says, Reading your poem in this dew wet courtyard, I wonder whether the spirit in you, which makes life blossom, hurt you more than the body that grew inside me like a flower. In this way, we find that when Balamani Amma is sitting in the hospital and in a part of a courtyard, she is reading the poetry of her daughter, that is Kamala Das. She feels that the poetry are full of spirit, they are blossoming, but at the same time, she feels that the poetry is having somewhere a confession which her daughter has suffered for years together. Balamani Amma further says that she remembers how effortlessly her daughter was there in her and how effortlessly she bloomed out to be her daughter. She further says in her poetry, "This cocoon you have spun to put to sleep the worm, groaning at your core, burst open, and the wings jostling, fluttering, rising, swarm my mind." She further says that now, this time period of resting time period when you are ill, consider it as a cocoon where you are binded, you are in a sleep like a worm. This worm will come out with beautiful wings, which will be jostling, fluttering, and you will rise like a butterfly. Here, the words are filled with emotions and endless love for her daughter. Balamani Amma's that belief that her daughter will rise like a butterfly is the eternal love of a nature. Further, she says, "Your mind may grow restless with unhappy thoughts, your body may be weary of household tasks, but I have no fears for you. Your power to turn worm into butterflies comforts me." Balamani Amma had a very good knowledge about the daughter's poetry, which is a very common thing between both of them. Balamani Amma expresses her concern to the daughter where she says that she should not worry because she will rise up with a new strength. She has a complete belief in her daughter that even though now she is restless, she is with unhappy thoughts, yet she will has the strength to fight back all her illness and rise up with a new zeal. The poem here expresses the unconditional love of the mother and daughter existence, which is again a natural phenomenon. Balamani Amma creates her self love for her daughter through the poetry. The mother will always comfort a child and strengthen her in each and every problem through this poetry can be found. This is an epic poetry of selfless love of a daughter and mother, especially a mother towards her daughter. And this overpowering love can never be conquered by any forces in the world is referred in this poetry. I hope you have understood it. Thank you.